Hey everybody, Neil here from Post to Post. Hope your weekend is off to a good start. It's Friday here on the channel. That means Jersey Concepts. And today I've got 26 jerseys for you. Usually we've got 32, but today it's 26 because the designer, Drew, has submitted Stadium Series matchups. He's got 13 files. 13 times 2 is 26, so 26 jerseys. And I can see the file names and they say this team versus this team. So there are going to be some teams that we don't see. However, there's some pretty good matchups just based on the file name. So I'm really excited to see what he has in store for us in terms of designs. And these aren't just jerseys, they're uniforms. Full uniform Stadium Series designs. So let's jump right in and let's check these out. Starting off with the first one, in terms of alphabetical order, it's going to be Avalanche versus Blues. So let's bring that up. Ooh, good presentation. He's even got a bit of a logo in there too. Okay, so the Blues one stood out to me immediately on the right. That is such an interesting combination of eras. That was my first thought when I saw this. So Stadium Series jerseys, a lot of them have the numbers on the shoulders. So he's already ticked that box with the St. Louis one. Those numbers look so good up there, especially on the dark blue, which is a segue into maybe the next point, which is part of the couple of generations, or I guess mainly two generations of this uniform look. It's the dark blue. So the dark blue, I think it was 1984, 85 when St. Louis switched to a darker blue. And then they had that alternate around 2013-ish. And that's when the dark blue that you see here is very similar to the dark blue that they used then. And different logo. But then the logo, the one that we see here, this comes from the mid-90s, 94, 95, something like that. Also the colors, the red, the yellow being used together, also 94, 95 around there. So we're combining early 2010s-ish with mid-90s jerseys, and oh my God, they look so good together. I really like that jersey, and I really like the uniform. The dark blue just allows the red to pop so nicely and the yellow to pop as well, and good usage of the logo. They've never used that logo as a primary logo, I don't think, on any of their jerseys, but they did start using it as a shoulder patch on that 94, 95, that first year that they kind of used the red in their jerseys. I believe that was on their shoulder patch for the first time there. So that's where that logo comes from. And of course, we've seen lots of it since. But the logo is a perfect choice for this jersey. It matches with the striping well. The striping is done very nicely. Like I said at the beginning, the numbers on the shoulders look very good. The neck is also interesting with the color that matches the stripes. And then the logo on the pants, that is so good. And then the socks also match the rest of the uniform. That is one of the best Stadium Series uniforms I think I've seen. And we look at a lot of jerseys here on the channel. I think it's over 1,000 per year. I have to do the math on average. Actually, let me do it real quick. Yeah, so typically we look at 32 jersey concepts per week, once every Friday. There's 52 Fridays in a year or whatever it is. So that's 1,792. So we look at a lot of jerseys or uniforms in a year, and I can very confidently say that is definitely one of the best St. Louis jerseys and uniforms I've seen. That's really, really good, Drew. Great start to this video. Okay, next we've got the Colorado Avalanche here off to the left. Now, this is kind of a polling of two eras as well, but the first impression I got of that one was 2020, I think it was, 2020, where they used a split. Colorado was in a Stadium Series and they used a split jersey design. Not these colors, but still kind of the same general look, different logo. This is, I would say, a better version of that in a way. I feel like I am missing the burgundy a little bit. I think that would contrast nicely with the red in the St. Louis jersey. So when teams match up against each other, sometimes the jerseys they have a similar thematic, basically. They have a similar kind of theme, or one is usually very modern and then the other one's usually very modern. We don't really get a baseline one and then a super modern one. Usually the design language is roughly the same. So I feel like there is a bit of a relationship here, but I would like to see maybe just some burgundy in that Colorado one just to balance with the red of the St. Louis. But I really do like the Colorado one as well. Both are excellent. Let's move on. Next matchup, Colorado Avalanche versus the Edmonton Oilers. I know I can see the file name, so I know which teams are coming, but I haven't studied them, obviously. But I forgot that Colorado was, again here, it would have been funny if every single file was Colorado just versus a different team. So anyways, Colorado versus Edmonton here. So I think there's really good things about this Colorado jersey on the left. Middle to top, I'd say, is pretty good. I like the logo recolorized like that. I like the squared off shoulders. That's great. I don't mind the angled kind of modern striping coming down, but it also points an arrow down to your crotch, basically. So I think that's just, I don't know. I think if the pants were white, it would be a mistake, but the jersey would transition down into pants nicely. I'm a little bit torn. Also, the stripes on the socks don't really match the design language of what's happening on the jersey. There's like flat striping on the socks, but then very modern angular striping on the jersey. So I guess other than the shoulders. So yeah, I think I like the other one a little bit better, but I do like it. Now the Edmonton one, I don't know if I've ever seen a darker like burnt orange with a brighter burnt orange and white. Maybe we've seen some blue in there in some of the concepts, but maybe this might be a first for this specific color combination. I would say that it's not bad. I don't love it. It's definitely not the best Oilers concept that I've seen or a Stadium Series concept, but I wouldn't say it's bad. It's I like how different it is. I'll definitely say that. I think we do need a lot of different things in jerseys and stuff. Like sometimes we get designs that are just so generic and just. And I guess maybe the best way to put it is there's so much potential for teams to do something, and a lot of the times they just take the easy way out. Whereas this design by Drew, it's definitely new. It's not like amazing, but it's new. So I have to appreciate that, and I have to appreciate that risk. So I'll take that any day. Next, the Boston Bruins versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a really good example where I said it earlier. The two teams kind of have like the same design language, and it's almost like the same designer is working on both uniforms or both jerseys. Look at the arms. Look at the striping of the claws ripping through in the Boston jersey, and then look on the Tampa Bay jersey where you've got that lightning kind of almost clawing through the jersey as well. Really good. Plus the ribbon here that holds the numbers on both jerseys. So like really good back and forth designs happening here with these uniforms. Excellent. I really like the Tampa one a lot, and I really like the Boston one a lot as well. I think the Tampa one is probably the better uniform, but I think the amount of white that's on the Boston one at the bottom of the jersey and the top is also really interesting. I think it was kind of a good decision to allow that. I do see some black at the bottom of the jersey now. Actually, I didn't even notice that. I thought it was white all the way down, but it doesn't look like there's black at the bottom. So because of that, maybe I would want to see some black up here, or remove the black from the bottom of the jersey and just put it white all the way down. Yeah, I don't know. I like both though. Both are really well done. Next, the Devils versus the Flyers. The Devils one confused me a little bit because it looks modern, but also a little bit retro at the same time. The arms in this shoulder piece here, maybe not so much the shoulder, but the arms, I guess specifically, the way that it's angled and it almost comes to a point, it reminds me of the Buffalo Sabres goat head jersey a little bit. The red might also have a bit of influence in the black as well there, but it's pretty good. I really like the socks. The socks are amazing. The Flyers jersey is really cool. I have seen concepts like this before, but this is probably the best executed version of it, I would say. I love how that white just pops off the black so nicely. Maybe it would look okay if it was outlined in orange, but I don't think it needs it. Like it does really pop off that black. It looks very good. The pants are good. The socks are good. I think I like the Flyers jersey more than these two, but both are nice. Okay, the Anaheim Ducks versus the LA Kings. I really like that LA one. I don't know what that texture is in the background. It's a little bit small on my screen. I might have to zoom in later, but the colors are great, like really great. 1967 colors pulled into a super modern look. You've got a bit of hockey aspect in there with the logo. I think he's even wearing some sunglasses too. The Anaheim one isn't really that different than their home jersey, or sorry, their away jersey now. It's color-wise very similar. Stripe-wise, different. I think it's very nice. It's modern from top to bottom, but still has that same kind of designs that they use, the same kind of look. So I think it would fit very nicely into their brand. The LA one is probably my favorite between the two just because I love that color combination. And really cool logo here, by the way, too. I like that he's doing the logos. Next, the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Nashville Predators. So we could see the checkered pattern in that Nashville Predators jersey. Now, I think it was 2008 or 2009 when that came in on the alternate jersey that they used. I don't think I've ever seen the checker pattern be used in a Nashville jersey on a concept that I've liked. I didn't like the one that actually existed that Nashville used, or any concept that anyone has ever submitted to the channel until now. I actually really like this Nashville concept, and it's not just because I'm wearing Nashville. If you're new, I switch the jersey every single video because I talk about it all teams, but I think that is by far the best Nashville jersey that I've seen utilize the checkered pattern because it's subtle. It's very subtle. You almost don't notice it. And the colors too, like that light blue pops in the logo of the stripes, the gloves, the pants, the socks. Very well executed jersey. I like that a lot. Or uniform. I like that a lot. The Carolina one is also pretty good. It's not super different than anything that we've seen from them in the past. I don't think it really needs to be. I might be missing the black just a little bit, but I do like the texture at the bottom of the jersey and in the sleeve too. Like that's very Stadium Series. There's a dark red that's happening here. It's almost a little bit too close in color and shade rather to the red that's in the middle of the jersey. So maybe make it a little bit darker or make that section black possibly. I'm not sure, but both are very nice. Again, Drew is really hitting some home runs here. Next, Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Buffalo Sabres. That Toronto jersey, I get Stadium Series vibes from it for sure, but I also get a little bit Winter Classic. It looks like something that they would wear 100 years ago, maybe minus the Maple Leaf, the gray one that's on the arm. I think that's kind of like the Stadium Series aspect of it, and the rest looks a bit retro. But I do like it. The pants are amazing. You got that spine of the leaf coming up the side. That's really, really cool. And then the Buffalo one, very Stadium Series. I don't love the logo, but I love the rest of the jersey. The dark blue, the light blue, I think there's maybe some black in there as well. Could just be the lighting in this template, I'm not sure. But very good decisions here with color for Buffalo. I would just personally change the logo out, and again, really cool series logo in the middle. Okay, next, the Rangers versus the Florida Panthers, and the Florida Panthers using a bit of Miami Vice colors. That's fantastic, but with the original logo recolorized. I would love to see that. I think this would be a very, very popular uniform and jersey. And then the Rangers on the left. I honestly get both vibes from this, kind of like the Toronto one. I get Stadium Series vibes, but I also get a little bit Winter Classic as well. So I'm a little bit torn with this. I think it's a really cool uniform. I like the white gloves and the blue pants because they wear red pants at home. They wear blue pants on the road, I think. Anyway, I like what's going on here for the Rangers. I like the logo that's chosen. The numbers look pretty good. Striping's excellent. Yeah, it's good stuff, Drew. Really good stuff. Okay, Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Washington Capitals. Two very, very 100% Stadium Series jerseys. The Pittsburgh one with the metal grate texture that's in there, that is like the Pittsburgh Steel City, obviously makes sense. The logo, which is maybe a bit classic, but it does match the vibe of the jersey. Really, really good uniform overall. Big fan of that one. And then the Washington one, I like the stars on the shoulders. That's cool. The logo is incredible. I love the logo. The stripes here are pretty cool. Numbers might be a little bit low, but yeah, not too bad. I really like it, actually. Like both of them. Next is the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Detroit Red Wings. Wow. That Detroit one is... What is happening in the background? There's like a weird pillar beam gradient thing happening. Like a twin gradient. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's a bit odd. It's on the shoulders as well. How do you make a Detroit Red Wings Stadium Series jersey be modern but not too modern? You can't go too modern with Detroit. It's just they're too classic, all right? So I don't know. I don't mind the shoulders, but behind the logo, it's a bit weird for me with Detroit. Maybe another team it might work, but I'm not sure about Detroit. The Chicago one, great colors. The lighter blue from the city flag that's in there. The stars on the front of the pants from the city flag. The alternate logo as the primary looks good. The numbers look like they're outlined in red and then blue. That's pretty cool. All right, yeah, let's move on. The St. Louis Blues again. Okay, St. Louis Blues versus the Dallas Stars. These could also maybe be Winter Classic uniforms. I think it's the script font or the text font, script font on the Blues one, regular text font on the Stars one. Stars one is a little bit similar to the Smashville Stadium Series jersey. So yeah, maybe text fonts are okay on Stadium Series ones. I like both. Both are really good. I think I like the Blues one a little bit more. I feel like the Stars text is a little bit squished with that stripe, and the Blues has just a little bit more breathing room for the primary logo. Striping is excellent. The neck is good. That's a really good Blues jersey and uniform, and the Stars one as well. Yeah, really, really good. Both. Drew, like seriously, so many good uniforms so far in this one. Okay, next up, Utah versus the Vegas Golden Knights. The Utah one, not color-wise, but just kind of like design-wise, I get like Minecraft vibes. There's so much angularity in there, in the logo, in the stripes on the arms, in the Utah State outline graphic on the front of the pants, in the socks. It's very blocky. Not that that's really a bad thing. It's a little bit weird. And then on the right one, the Vegas one, that is a beautiful jersey, an absolutely stunning, beautiful jersey and uniform. I really like that. I think that's actually one of the best Vegas Golden Knights jerseys that I've ever seen. I love the fact that there's that much red in there. I like the fact that the logo's been redesigned to have some of that texture in the gold in the logo. You stripped out some of the logo to have some black in the background, more black, and then the primary color of the whole uniform and jersey is black. That is a phenomenal uniform and jersey. Really, really good, Drew. Next, The Wild versus the Jets, two more script fonts here. Now, the Wild jersey is super stadium series. I like the yellow, I like the red, but having two shades of green in here is pretty cool. This is what I'm talking about when I say different. Like, this is super risky. It is very different. Not everyone's going to like that. Not everyone, maybe not even most people will like that. But it's not playing it safe, and it's taking a risk, and I think that's okay. I would rather see that more often than not. And then the one on the right, the Winnipeg one, that's a combination between Reverse Retro 2.0 and then that alternate that they used around 2020-ish, 2019, 2020. Yeah, so the logo combined with that Reverse Retro 2.0 jersey. I like the entire uniform and the jersey. I think it's maybe a little bit playing it safe, but it does look good, and I really like the pants with the maple leaf on the front. I think that's a nice little touch because it contrasts nicely with the Minnesota one on the other side. Drew's done a lot of that in this series so far. He's put some different logos and designs on the pants. That's very indicative of a stadium series uniform design. Isn't just to design a modern jersey and socks. Spice up the pants a little bit, even the helmets as well. We can't see the side of the helmets, but I'm sure if we could, Drew probably would have had excellent forward thinking there with the helmet as well and put some designs on there. Oh, that was the last one, right? We don't have 32 files here. We only have 13. So I don't know my favorite. There are so many good ones in here. I need a couple minutes to look through this. Okay, honorable shout out time. I'll do my top three favorites. In third place, I'm going to put the Nashville Predators one just because it really surprised me. I don't think it's the best Nashville concept I've ever seen. I just think it's the only Nashville Predators concept I've seen that has the checker pattern in there that I actually like. I also think it was a really good decision to have that lighter blue in there. It pops so nicely off the darker blue and the yellow. Perfect contrast. Really good decision with color there. And a very nice uniform overall. In second place, I'm going to put the first St. Louis Blues uniform that we saw. I think that is a perfectly executed uniform for St. Louis. Not home, but in any other aspect. Specialty, full league series, permanent alternate, whatever you want to do. Like, this is a beautiful jersey and uniform. I would love to see this. There's nothing that I would change about it. I don't think it's really, really good. And first overall, I have to give it to Vegas. That I really like that jersey a lot. I love the amount of red that he's pulled into this jersey. He's really exploited the red that they use, but he's made it like a really focus point of the jersey in a good way. And then in the red, he's got that filigree or whatever it's called that's there. It looks very good. It might be a little bit generic, like compared to a lot of the other modern ones that we saw in here, but it's perfectly executed in my opinion. I really like it. I also like that where the numbers are, it looks like negative space, maybe versus like an actual something that's put on here, like an actual sewn on or heat press number or whatever. It looks like negative space of the gold, as if it's cut out of the gold versus black being put onto the gold, if that makes sense. I like that. It's a bit spooky, mysterious. That's pretty good. So Drew, unbelievable. Like, again, so many home runs. You're an excellent designer. Basically, every series that you submit, there are so many shining star uniforms and jerseys in there. You've got some serious talent. So I really appreciate you sending in consistently all amazing designs over the years. Thank you so much. And speaking of designers in the community, I'd like to announce the winner of the contests from the previous first quarter of 2025. I did the draw. If you look at the statistics of how many points that people had, Jamie won, okay? But it's not surprised because he submitted like 5 or 6 different sets in the first 3 months of the year. So percentage-wise, he by far had the best percentage to win. And when I did the draw, he did come first. So congratulations, Jamie. You have won a Seattle Kraken jersey. I did display it in my announcement video, but it's a regular Seattle Kraken Adidas home jersey. So I will reach out to you privately and get your address and have that shipped out to you. So thank you so much for all your designs that are submitted. Some of them you haven't even seen yet, because I'm sitting on a couple of series, probably put 7 so far. So some of the series that Jamie has submitted, I haven't even seen yet. They're just like, they're in there just waiting for me to look at. But that's because he submitted so many in these past couple of months. So congratulations, Jamie. And thank you so much to all the other designers in the community. I will be continuing the contest. So from April 1st to, is it the end of June? April, May, June. Yeah, the end of June. If you submit a full series to the channel, you will be entered into a draw if it's NHL related. and it's jerseys, 3 points if it's NHL related, and it's not jerseys, 2 points if it's any other league or sport, or I guess any other sport rather, then you get 1 point. So it doesn't have to be jerseys. It could be, I don't know, it could be NHL arenas. Okay, you'll get 2 points because it's NHL related, but you won't get that extra point because it's not jerseys. And we always like to look at the jerseys here on Friday. So, and the winner's going to get another jersey. So I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be yet. I have to buy it, but it will be an Adidas jersey or a Fanatics jersey, probably Adidas. So the winner will get an Adidas jersey, and it'll be likely around size 50, 52. Something like that. So if that does interest you and you want to submit some things to the channel, down below in the description is details on how to do that. Actually links to a video telling you how to submit to the channel with all the steps and everything. And if you don't have a template, there are free ones out there on the internet. There are cheap ones. But if you want to get the exact same template that you saw in this video, the full uniform template, I can help you save some money there. Use my code post over on sportstemplates.net. That's going to save you 10% on the template that you saw in this video and any other template that's on the site. And if you don't want to drop any coin right now, that's completely fine. If you go over to the site, there's free ones over there. I always like to mention that because if you've got Photoshop already and you just want a good high quality template, definitely go pick up some of the free ones over there. Really good spot to kind of play around with your creativity and test some things out. And if you like what you've done and you want to submit some money at that point, then make sure you use my code and save the money and get one of the templates over there. There's different ranges of prices for different templates, and it's not just hockey, other sports as well. So I really appreciate you guys watching this week. Thank you again, Drew, for submitting your designs. Incredible work. And again, congratulations to Jamie for winning the contest in the first quarter of 2025. Hope you guys have a great start to your Easter weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Adios.